Hey, this is your girl, your favorite paralegal, aka Cassandra Lynn, and welcome to Legal Doc Talk 24/7. Hope you guys are having an awesome Tuesday. So, this is a Diddy update. The government has responded to Diddy's request for a hearing regarding the MDC sweep and the declarations of one of the members of the prosecution team as well as the BOP investigator. So, let's hop right on into it. So this letter was submitted yesterday, and it reads, the government respectfully requests this brief response to the defendant's letter dated January 24th, 2025. In the January 24th letter, the defendant makes a number of new and unsupported allegations of misconduct against the government based on the declarations filed by the government and the Bureau of Prisons in response to the court's January 3rd, 2025 order. These allegations contort and misrepresent the contents of the declarations and do not merit consideration by the court. Most significantly, the facts laid out in the declarations clearly refute the defendant's spurious allegations that investigators' one conduct during the sweep was directed by the prosecution team or done to obtain evidence against the defendant for this case. The defendant's other allegations similarly ignore or misconstrue the facts. For instance, the defendant argues that the government was complicit in Investigator One's monitoring of Combs' phone calls for the BOP. But Investigator One's statement made plain that his monitoring was properly and independently done as part of his BOP duties. Moreover, any attorney communications obtained by the government were provided directly to a filter team for the express purpose of protecting the defendant's privilege. In sum, these new allegations do not support the relief the defendant seeks, including additional fact finding. Nonetheless, should the court be inclined to consider these new claims in deciding the defendant's pending motion or request for a hearing, the government first requests the opportunity to respond in full to the January 24th letter. To be clear, however, the court need not consider the new allegations because even if taken as true, which they cannot be, the allegations cannot cure the fatal flaws in the defendant's motion for discovery and a hearing. As set forth in the government's opposition brief and as underscored by the facts set forth in the declarations, the defendant's Fourth and Sixth Amendment claims are mute and meritless. First, the defendant's Fourth Amendment claim regarding the MDC sweep is mute because the government will not seek to offer the defendant's notes photographed by Investigator One or any fruits of the notes in its prosecution of the defendant. Second, with respect to defendant's Sixth Amendment claim, despite his latest efforts to twist the facts in the January 24th letter, the defendant cannot show that the prosecution team, which does not include Investigator One, intentionally interfered with the defendant's attorney-client relationship. Even if the defendant's misleading assertion that the government directed the search of his housing unit were credited, it is not disputed that the government had no knowledge whatsoever that Investigator One would take part in that search or that the defendant's papers would be photographed. Moreover, all photographs taken during the MDC sweep of the defendant's paper were provided to the filter team in the first instance, consistent with the government's practice of providing all other potentially privileged material obtained from BOP to the filter team for review. Accordingly, the defendant's Sixth Amendment claim must fail and there is no need for discovery, a hearing, or any other relief requested by the defendant. So, as Diddy tried to make in the last filing that the BOP investigator was hired by the prosecution team, and that is not it. So when the MDC did their sweep, that was a whole separate incident. Not an incident, but that was a whole separate issue. BOP had nothing to do with the searching of the cell. Remember, their total focus was on the rugs, the narcotics, any contraband of that nature associated with those. Now, the BOP, I believe that they allowed for the BOP investigator to assist in the sweep. However, there was their own agenda. They had their own agenda when it came to going into his cell. Now, do I think that it is right? I don't think so, because I don't see, I mean, we didn't read the declaration, so we don't know exactly what Investigator One's purpose was for going into the cell. But we do know that they monitor the calls and so on and so forth. And even if they do obtain any documentation or, the phone calls or whatever the case may be, it goes through the filter team. So the filter team will then determine, okay, this is a client, this is attorney client privilege, or this is, non attorney client privilege, and forward to the correct counsels. So, um, this is just a lot of back and forth. I wouldn't see why the judge will grant Diddy a hearing in additional discovery, but then again, I think it needs to be more clarification. But once we don't know what was in the declaration for the BOP or why they was there, that's the only thing. So I can't say, well, Diddy isn't entitled to a hearing or Diddy is. I just don't know exactly what that BOP declaration stated. But I will just keep you guys up to date, see what else will be filed in regards to this. It's going to be a lot of back and forth. We're about to be in February. Diddy needs to focus on trying to get ready for his trial. His biggest thing is, well, at first was trying to get out of jail. He tried 3 times and that didn't work, but the government has found that he has been, doing some things that are not actually privy to um uh getting he's been doing some things that he shouldn't be, that is questionable. So, obstruction of justice, trying to get to the witnesses, trying to get to the other parties in this case. It's not going to work out. It's not going to work out. You're still trying to manipulate people from, behind bars. I think the safest place is for you to stay behind bars until we get to trial and everything is revealed at that time. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Put it in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until then, you all be blessed, and I'm out. Bye.